So today I'm going to be teaching you how to do this really cute and really easy crochet spring bow garland. It is so easy for anyone to do at any level. I hope you guys stick around and enjoy. So for this tutorial you will need a ruler, a pair of scissors, and a crochet hook. I am using a 4mm hook. And of course any yarn color of your choosing. I suggest you pick out yarn colors that are very pastel and light and wonderful and different colors of the rainbow so you can get a better looking garland. So for this tutorial you will not need too much yarn. You can use scrap pieces as long as they're longer than I'm gonna say 4 or 5 yards. Just a good amount. So I'm gonna be using this worsted weight light blue yarn just to demonstrate, but I have other colors that I'm going to be using. Worsted weight is generally what I like to use most. It is cheap and easy, and it is perfect for this easy project. So the first thing you want to do is start off, and I just start off like this and leave only a little bit of a tail because we are going to cut that off later. And make sure the part that you pull on is the part that's attached to the skein and not this end piece, that the knot is on the end piece. So you want to insert your hook and then chain 52. And when you chain the 52, you want to make sure that the chains are tight, because you don't want them too tight that you can't fit your hook in later, but you don't want them extremely loose, because when we come back they will seem looser than they originally were. So you want to chain 52, and I'll show you what to do next. Here is our chain 52, and I would like to show you that it should end up about 12 inches or a foot long, unstretched. Stretch would be of course longer. So this is generally the size we want it to be when it is done. So the next step we have to do is, as you can see, when you do a chain you get a nice braided effect, and then on the back you get a kind of swirly braided effect. So in most cases when you crochet you want to go through 2 loops. So you'd go through both of these and leave this swirly bit in the back. I don't know the technical terms, but this is just how I learned. But for this we are only going to go on the outer loop of the 2 in the braid. So remember that we did 52. That is so that we have a nice square corner in the bottom of our bow. So we skip 1, 2, and go on the 50th one. So we insert our hook in the back and crochet 1. Just like that. And then continue crocheting 1 in each. So like that. And as you can see, we have a nice square looking bottom compared to as before it would have looked more pinched like that. So that's why we added the extra 2. So just continue on and finish doing the rest. You might it might get monotonous to the point where you can't remember which one you're on, but just remember which you just tug on here, and you notice that this was the last loop you were in, so the next one would be this one. So that's how you remember where you're at. As you're crocheting, you'll begin to notice that it starts curling up kind of like an octopus or like a jellyfish tentacle, but that's okay. All you have to do is just pull it out and kind of tug it a little, and it'll get back to being straight. As I was talking about before, when you want to make your first cast tight, it begins to loosen up the chain more towards the end than when you started in the beginning, and that is because we are slowly tugging on each loop that are linked together. So that's why we wanted to make the chain as tight as possible in the beginning. So here is the last one. You just want to go through and do a normal crochet, and then at this point you want to slip stitch. So that's where you just go like this and bring it through, and then you want to pull a little tag about the same height as your other one, and then snip it and pull this out, and then you have a little knot. So that little slip stitch made a knot. Then you take the two bunny ears and tie them in a square knot, like a normal knot. And then you can either feed these back into here using your crochet hook, but they kind of fall out on me, so I just trim it off as close to the knot as possible without cutting the knot. And then you can either use some clear nail polish or some fray check if you're worried about the knot, but it's no big deal to me. By the way, don't throw these out, because a lot of the times I like to use these little end pieces for stuffing the heads of my amigurumis, so you can like upcycle and recycle the end bits. Here is our finished piece, and as you can see, it's a foot like it was before. And the next thing we have to do is set this aside and grab another piece of yarn, and this is just a normal piece of yarn, you don't need to crochet it, and cut off a little more than a foot just for assurance, and this will be the wrapping on the middle of our bow. So to start off the first bow at the end, the very first bow you make, you fold your crocheted piece in thirds like this. Mind you that this piece has two sides. There's the good side and the bumpy side, and you generally want the good side to show. So you want to fold it in thirds like this and hold it in the middle, and then make it so that the good side shows out. And this can go under here, and there we are. So there is our bow, and all you have to do is tie this and wrap it around the middle, and then you have your first bow. So here my first bow was actually this yellow one, and then I added a green one, and then we just finished the blue one. So we do the same thing we did as the first bow, and you fold it in thirds, but instead of tying it off immediately, what you want to do is hold it and let go of the one on the left and feed it through the hole of the previous bow, and then bring it back up and check to make sure they're in thirds and that the good side, or the side you want showing, is facing the right way, like this. And then you continue to tie the knot in the middle. Sorry if this is hard to see, it's kind of difficult. Just tie a normal knot with a smaller tail on one side, and make sure to tie it super tight, and then begin to wrap this around the knot that you just created and make it tight as well until you're left with another tail. You want to bring the smaller and the new tail into the back and tie another knot. And make it tight. And this is why you wanted to make the tail in the beginning small but not too small. That way you would be able to tie it again. Just like that. And like I did before, all you want to do is just trim off the excess but not on the knot, and you can fray check it or nail polish it if you would like. Here is our garland, and I have another one that I've already made ready, and it is purple. So and as you can see, they still like to curl up every once in a while. So you can, they're very workable. You can just pull and tug on it and flatten it out. And over time, they might want to curl up again. So that is where it comes in, whether you want to end up using some sort of spray fabric hardener, and you can just lay them out like this and spray it real quick, and then they'll stay the shape that you want them to be. Here's our finished garland project. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's super simple and super easy. All 5 of these took me maybe a couple hours. If you're a beginner, then it teaches you how to crochet. Really simple, really easy. And if you're experienced, then this is some cute easy project that you can do with spare bits of yarn, and you can just sit and watch TV and do it. You don't have to worry about counting all of your rows like you normally would. So this is just a great project for everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for my next crochet video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!